How you guys been, by the way? Look at this. It's 43 degrees right now. Check this out. If I'm talking to you about why it's good to own an old vehicle, listen to this. This thing is destroyed almost entirely. I don't know if the engine is locked up or not. It's been exposed to the elements. The hood is all crumpled up. It's tough. It's a diesel. And look at that rust right down here. But I'm going to fix it. You know why? Because all these new requirements coming out for these new vehicles, all these like driver monitoring, conspiracy theories or facts, I'm not for sure. All I know is it's getting more and more expensive to run new vehicles, from maintenance to repair cost to just owning one in general. My family can own something like this and like this. Light bar's got to get on there still. And like that Jeep out there for nothing. These are all paid off. Look at this. Paid off, paid off. Of course, that one right there is paid off, right? And it's not a bragging or boasting session, if you will. It's just we're doing what we need to do to survive so we can put our money into other places. And old greenie here, that's supposed to be a green paint job from factory. That's the color. Green metallic or something like that. This is what has saved us a lot of money. Coming down here, the reason why we're here today, we've got an axle leak. Check it out right down there. Can you guys see that? It's all wet right up in here. Yeah, you can see that. That's coming down from the axle just above. There's a seal in there where that big section inserts into. That's got to come out. Another thing with this that we've got going on, I've got brakes that probably need to be done. Rotors are a little bit grooved. We're going to take a look at those pads. Look like got decent pads in there. All these parts I sourced from O'Reilly Auto Parts. Now, if you're going to do a lift, something like that, you want to get something from like, what's it called? Iron Rock. What's it called? Rocky Mountain. I can't remember. There's a website, though, and most of you guys probably know that better than me. This has got a needle zerk in the back, this upper control arm, and I can see that we're leaking. Might just be getting pressed out of there. I probably charged it up pretty good before I put it on. So as long as the boot's not torn, we'll be okay. We're going to just monitor that. Axle nuts are 35. You can find the 36s a little more accessible. Just zip it right off. That's how it comes off. Might be a little hot after that. Do not forget this portion of it. There's a little, can I even get it out? Come on. There's a washer in here. Come on out of there. Make it. Come on. Come on. There we go. I got this from Max Hardware. It's just a hardware store. Washer, you want it in here. They do come with one from factory. You don't get them when you order them aftermarket. These axles don't come with the washers. Keep this in mind as you're doing these brake jobs, or this isn't a brake job, but as you're taking this apart, so the brake line goes back behind the knuckle here. A lot of times we want to put it in front or forget about it. And you got to take this off again. This is kind of a pain to take off. It's a locking nut, so it doesn't just spin off easily by hand. So go ahead and make sure this goes behind. When you put it back together, that is. This is actually the wheel bearing and hub assembly. You can do this with the tire on, that's better, you got more leverage. But in this case, just listen to this. So this is on the knuckle and the tie rod end. Nothing. Top and bottom. Nothing, but now if I do this, bring you in real close. Ready? Hear that? Not this back and forth, but side to side. It's definitely got side to side action. So that's something we're going to be replacing too. Everything else looks good. You know, usual rust under here. It's not bad, actually. And that's a good thing. We want to prevent this thing from going back to the earth. Keep it as long as possible. Alright, you ready? So over here we got the tie rod end, outer tie rod end, of course. And then we've got your CV axle right here in the middle. We need the CV axle to come out so we can replace that leaking CV axle seal or axle seal. You're saving a lot of money doing this, so don't get discouraged or anything like that, okay? Now this right here is your lower control arm bolt, especially if you don't have a lift. There's not a lot of space between the floor and your bolt. So I'm going to use a breaker bar. I'm just going to break it here. Make sure you turn it the right way. And I have a little trick that I do to keep the bolts from seizing up. I'm in South Dakota, so there's not a ton of corrosion, but there's plenty enough in the wintertime. Now this is the part where it gets a little interesting. You're going to hit the side of this thing and it's going to push it down. So you don't have to, don't do this, don't hit this right here. Sound good? Good. Safety glasses on. So dead blows to this side, dead blows to that side. This hammer is like it's a 2-pound hammer. That's it, and you'll get it. You can see how it's kind of lifting up here. Don't get discouraged. Don't be in a rush. Do this one step at a time. It's coming up. You can see that, and we've got this loose. We're gonna see. Boy, oh boy, it's not gonna sneak out unless I do a little bit more work yet. I wish it would. Stand by. I just wanted to bring you in on this real quick. Taking a look at this right here, this is where things can kind of get sloppy. These boots on these aftermarket CB axles, they're not great, especially after being run. This has been run for I don't know how many thousands of miles, quite a few. So we don't want to break these boots. We don't want to have to put a new CB axle on, and we don't have the tool to spread these out and put new boots on. We can do all that if we had that tool. We don't want to do any of that. So this is where if you get in a rush, you're going to find problems, especially with the Jeep Liberty, because we loosened up this bolt. All right, this is the top bolt for the fork of the strut. Strut fork is right here. And then here's your bottom on the other side. This is always going to be towards you. This is going to be towards the front. So you want to make sure you've got this little stopper. This helps you when you're torquing it up from the other side. Keep this always on the facing towards the driver. We got these both loose. We're going to take them out, and then all I'm going to do is get a screwdriver and put some leverage up here. I'm going to slowly work this fork down. This will slide forward this way, and it will come out, and then we've got free access to put a little crowbar behind our CB axle right there. Slowly work it, and it will eventually just pop right out, and we won't tear anything, hopefully. They're kind of brittle at times. Kind of like a tip of the day thing for you, because you don't want to go spend more money on a CB axle. You just don't. So take your time. Don't get in a rush. 2 more bolts isn't going to be a big deal. 1 bolt, 1 knot at a time, right? It gets you farther, and it's a whole lot easier on our pocketbooks. All right, we got it out. Especially if you're doing this job by yourself, I want to show you something here. This is going to be a very helpful trick for you. You have got your bushing for your lower control arm. This is a big, heavy lower control arm. Even on your Jeep Liberty, yes, it's very heavy duty. So I take a big screwdriver, I push it so it goes just underneath the side of that bushing, not on the rubber, on the metal. And then I just use my leverage, right, to go down. So I'll try to show you this here. While I've got the screwdriver in here, this is a big tip part. While I've got the screwdriver in here pushing down on that lower control arm, I have got, this was on here, okay? This was sitting on here. I took a pry bar and I started prying it down. This one's a little big, maybe overkill. Anyways, loosened it up to the point where I could just push, and you know, you give a couple ooga doogas and it comes down, you're pushing forward and it comes right out. That's a big deal. If you got a wife, and if you're the wife working on your Jeep, that's not funny, by the way, and you've got a husband,
have somebody, a friend, somebody come over and help you. They can do the pushing down on the control arm. You can just concentrate on wiggling your fork free, strut fork. There it is. I keep everything clean under here. The bolts, everything just comes right out. I'm gonna put a little bit of lubricant on this, a little bit of grease probably. I'll clean that up with a terry cloth, that way it slides over again when we put it back together. All right, here it is, we got that out. I better show you that real quick here. CV axle, strut fork. And this is just basically everything I've used up to this point in time, plus that magnet right there, I guess. Just to do the job. Back down under here, we've got our seal, and you can see where it's been leaking right down here. We got all kinds, I mean, it's been leaking enough to where it's actually cleaning off the differential. So this has to come out. This started leaking after I put in after I redid the diff. I should have done the seals at that point in time, I didn't, and it started leaking on me. So it's just time for replacement. You can see what's inside there, there you go. You can see right inside there. But what I got here is I got a screwdriver. It is all metal. You see I got a metal end right there, metal end right there, and I got it shaved down on this side right here so I can put it right up where it just sneaks against that seam and maybe a tiny little bit under it. And I'm just gonna slowly work it out. I do not have a lot of space here. And we don't want to damage the surface. Let's see. Not a lot of room with you under here either. Just so you know. Oh, sorry about that. I gotta get out of here. I gotta have you guys out of the way, unfortunately. Can you see what's going on? Where's it at? I don't even know. There it is. All right, so everything's out. I'm gonna show you what I got on the bench. See, this right here is the old seal. Worked out really well. Like I said, if you just shave down a screwdriver and remove the rubber or plastic handle on it, because otherwise that absorbs the blow from the hammer, some of that force, and you just creep it right off of there and it looks good. So it was all dirty around here. From what I could tell, it was probably leaking in both places. Underneath, you can see it's got a little bit of orange RTV. I don't think it's called RTV, maybe perhaps, but that's to seal it off. I guess I'll show you that on the new one here. Comes built right in. I'm going to add just a little bit of RTV from the shop onto this. Got this from O'Reilly Auto Parts. This is the precision bearing and seal product, and it has grease on the inside, so it's ready to go. See if you can find some RTV. Good stuff that we're looking for. Ultra black right here. This is gonna be what we're gonna use. All right, here we go. Right here, take a look at that. Got it covered all the way around. There it is. All I did was take a little smudge on my finger, just run it around. That way, it's got just a little more to it. And you wanna be sure that you don't just slather it on there, especially in this type of situation. A little bit goes a long way. We've got a good surface. This is gonna be good. No more leaks. I'll tell you how I put it on, but I'm not gonna show you because it's hard to get under there and show you guys everything. Let me show you what I use for a tool. This right here is an Icon bearing, and what is it? It's a master aluminum bearing race and seal driver set. And as you can see, we've got every little piece in there that we need. Let's find the one we're looking for. We're gonna go with this one right there. See that? Perfect. Okay, it's gonna look just like this. We're gonna use that little 2-pound hammer. It's right behind you, I think. It's on the floor. And we'll just hammer it in there. All right, it's in. Took a little bit of persuasion with the hammer, not much. And that's it. There it is, it's in. Give you an underneath look. Right there. Like I said, we got the grease in there already, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of grease and put it on the inner part of that rubber seal right there before we put the CV axle back in. With that said, I'm gonna put this back together and I'll be right back. On this, the 2005, we've got 3 different speed sensors. We got a speed sensor down on the rear diff. It's actually on the top of the rear diff, really easy to get to, you know, lay underneath. Be careful, of course, if you're underneath. On the front, we got them front driver's side, front passenger side, wheel bearings / hub. It's just all one unit. I went ahead, while I was here, I replaced the hub assembly. Your wheel bearing is going to be inside of there, of course. We got the axle nut. They say to reuse the axle nut. They say to not reuse the axle nut. So just keep that in mind. It does come with a new nut. I ended up doing something here that I told you not to do. Be very gentle. I did it anyways. I'll show you. Right here, we got a torn boot. So I took this end off. I'm going to see if I can source a boot, see if I can get the proper tool. I don't like taking these back to O'Reilly because the boot rips all the time. I don't feel like that is O'Reilly's problem. I feel like it is a manufacturer issue. It's an aftermarket deal. It's always right here. This is always where it tears because they don't extend these out enough. If this right here was fastened more like 1.5 inches forward, then it would not tear. It just pushes into it so much. Let me show you down here. Look at that. Right there. You see how tight that is right there? It's just pushing. Now I halfway want to loosen this up, bring it out here a little bit to prevent it from tearing. But as long as I don't remove it, it's going to be fine. So I got the axle seal replaced. We got all new ball joints, etc. New wheel bearing. Hopefully we don't have to take this apart again anytime too soon. Maybe we can get another 50,000 miles before we have to take it apart again. We'll see. We're at 357, something like that right now. Got some Royal Auto going on in the background here. You guys probably watch that channel too. Just some good background noise, good information from these guys as well. All right, guys, we're all put back together. Another DIY job in the garage. And tools make all the difference. I don't have all the tools. Perhaps you don't have all the tools, but we do have some good tools. I got a jack stand underneath right there from Harbor Freight and the Pittsburgh quick jack 3-ton right there as well. I've got all these torqued down, torqued. It's not a job that you want to be rushed doing. It's definitely not a hard job if you just take it one nut and one bolt at a time. Have some wrenches, have some ratchets. Power tools help, right? If you've got an impact gun, that would be good. Just to help you out, get the tire off easy. Take it easy where you can. Zip them off where you can and then use your muscles. Be the muscle man when you need to be. So I'm going to put the tire back on and then we'll close it out. All right, guys. I'm actually going to take the family fishing. I hope it's okay if I don't show you around until next time and all the things that are going on. It's been a good day. I'm thankful to be back. Thank you guys for still being here. I'm thankful for you. Hopefully I can stick around more often. We'll talk to you next time. All right. From our garage to yours. Keep up the good work, fellas and ladies. Bye-bye. 357,753. Hopefully I don't run over anything that the kiddos left behind me. What do we got here? New CV axle, new hub, and wheel bearing. What else? Do anything else? Oh yeah, seal. That'll be good. No more leaks.